Call the Cheyenne County Board of Commissioner meeting to order. We'll start with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fancied up today.
Oh, that wind is blowing. It's like I'm not dealing with all this. Thank you. I've got a copy here. Thank you.
Total. That's what they spent total. So if everything's under,
Mhm.
I can go get it for you.
I was thinking about that last night.
Sure, much so camera did it. $20.
Yeah, sorry. Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know.
part of that motor still left in my truck that we took you. But somebody said it's to hold the air conditioner on. Do you want that?
Sure. If you go to buy that stuff,
I asked somebody, I was talking to somebody about it, and I said, I gotta take this to, and they said, oh, it was Taylor. And he said, what would he need that for? He said, that's going in a race car or something.
it might.
I said, I don't know. Part of it.
Did a deep for spin yesterday. Ooh. Thing's got too much power. Got it on the highway and put it in low and just. Yeah, well, I guess I wasn't ready for it. Something with that short wheelbase, it's dangerous.
Motion to approve the minutes and the warrants.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes and warrants as stated. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
I got a hold of Harrison Baker, who is the attorney for KDOT in regards to the access road from Lorraine Street down by the car wash. And we have open discussions in regards to completing the project with just the county being involved. He's going to be visiting with his people. But we have at least started the discussions to go ahead and see what we can do to get that done.
Thank you.
So I have today.
When you're ready.
Um, the first quarter clerk's claims report was published this week. But took the KCCA dues invoice. If you guys want to be members of the KCCA. um,
It's not that much, but
Yeah. I know they help lobby for stuff when legislature is in session, like the KAC. They have the best interests of the counties in mind in those regards. Mhm.
motion that we stay with the KCCA, Kansas County Commissioners Association.
Second that. It's been moved and seconded to renewal with the KCCA. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed.
The amount.
Oh. 217.44.
21744 yearly. Thank you.
Jeremy with Blue Cross was in a couple weeks ago and we were just talking about our policies that we have and et cetera. We got to just visiting about the basic term life insurance policy that the county has on the employees that the county pays. He did send me a proposal for increasing that benefit. Of course, with an increase of the basic term life benefit, of course, there's increase in costs, but I wanted to just present it to you for consideration. And it's something that can be done at any time. It's not like it has to be done when we renew all our other stuff. But yeah. I think currently we have a $20,000 basic term life policy, and this proposal would be a 50,000.
50.
I think that's the next step or the next jump. There's it, like I said, it does go up quite a bit, but not, I mean, so just an option. Like I said, that's
It's
there.
not that much. It's
No, that's monthly. Bye.
Increased to 19. What are we paying now?
I think it's on the, I think
It's
I
on
put it
there?
on there. Yeah. I put it on there. Like growing something, some of the premium goes three something. Close to 400. But it might be something, since we're getting into budget time, to think about if you're wanting to think about it, because we will, I think, need to raise the budget amount for that. If you want to go that direction. So like I said, it's just a proposal.
It's not something we have to do.
No, not necessarily.
We talked about it at.
Yeah, I did present it at the
Department head.
department head meeting. I think the general consensus is that they, as employees, we appreciate what the county does offer. But if you feel that you need more light, or you feel like you want to insure yourself, there are many options to do that within capers, and other, outside. So
Any of that come out of the employees?
no, this would be currently the county pays for the $20,000 term life benefit. It's a benefit. So,
Change of 82,080.
yeah, because it's 308.32 is what we currently have. I think that's what this is. Yeah. This is the current policy. And this quote was 635, so 19 a person, where it's like 8 something a person, I think.
That's one something to think about.
I will keep it on our radar for maybe future. Okay. Weathercrafts finally sent over the gutters and downspouts for the finishing the CCV complex from the hail from 23. Is that right? So we have all those funds. I did send it to K Camp just so they have this on file, so that they know that it has been completed and what all of that. Of course, unfortunately, that's all been closed because of the time that it took to get it all done. But I will need a motion because it's $25,194. So, maybe Eddie can allude to it a little more. He did say that a lot of the gutters and stuff are wider up there, bigger. So they had to bring in a special crew that's why it took so much longer to get it done.
So we're not gonna get any compensation from K Camp because
We've already got everything we're gonna get. I mean, they had it on our premium, on our claim. Of course, we had the depreciation and stuff on it, but I think it did come in a little more than what they had originally. So gave us for.
So we couldn't get any recoverable depreciation because it was so long.
Yeah. But like I said, I did feel like we needed to have it on so that they were aware that it did get finally done and what that cost
That's
was.
good. I mean,
So-
that's good if we get another hailstorm.
Just now,
Yeah, we need to make a motion.
make a motion that we pay overhead door of Northwest Kansas, $25,194 for the repair of the gutters.
Moved and seconded to pay overhead doors. Oh, I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to approve paying for the overhead doors, or the guttering from overhead door for $25,194. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, all opposed.
High Plains Mental Health, which I have minutes from their February meeting, they always send out letters for their for their funds. We sent so we do for appropriations, we do 90% in January, and usually we do that other 10% in June. I think this is asking if we can go ahead and pay the rest of that. So that's up to you. That balance would be $1,786.20. We can do that, or we can wait till June and pay it with all the others. And I can send this and say, this is what you have. This is where we're at. Dawn said it was fine to go ahead if you wish to pay this one. Instead of waiting till June, if we pay the others. But I don't know. They are doing, I think I brought up a couple meetings ago about their open house. They did touch about it at Little KAC in Colby. These will be the only 2 times that you'll be able to actually get in and see it, because once it's opened as a facility, their new facility in Hayes where it's like a medical facility. You won't be able just to go in and
When was
See it.
that date? Do you remember?
I can look
Is it
it up
on there?
for you. No, but I can look it up for sure for
I'd
you.
like to go with it.
I have it somewhere. Because they're having that one open house and then a big reception. And that was at the end of the month, but the other one was here.
It's on the 30th.
Yeah, that's the big reception, I think, the official like grand opening or whatever they're doing.
It amazes me how much they have in their CDs and everything. They're asking counties to supplement.
I did have a representative come by here a couple weeks ago and present some programs that they're doing. I think there's a couple that would benefit our employees. So at some point I will. The only thing is we'd have to probably do a training day because they're like an 8-hour course. So something I'll bring up with the department heads and see if they're interested.
Pay that now. Just be emotional.
Yeah, it's up to you.
If we're gonna have to pay it anyway, now we're in June, so
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to repay High Plain
1,600 is at the
17,
17,
1,000.
okay, 17,000.
1,700.
17, excuse me. $6.20.
I'll second that. I didn't help at all because I'm sitting there going,
Look at me, you said 1,000 later.
The remainder of the appropriation for 2026.
it's been moved and seconded to finish paying High Plains Mental Health for 2026 appropriation for $1,786.20. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed.
We'll get that there for the next year. Here's just an options annual report that they send out. I guess, did you have any questions on the receipts or expenses? The report that I sent?
Did you?
Okay,
Any questions on the
no.
claim? Okay. Information.
I'm sure you get it. Yeah.
At the department head meeting, I let all the department heads know, and I've sent out budget request information first of the week, so they can start looking at their budgets. We talked about while we're working on our budgets, when we come in and visit with you, the department heads would like to know or have the set amount for cost of living increase if you're planning to do that. And then once they know that amount, then they will determine like a performance raise or something like that for their employees. But if we have that amount now, or they would like to have that amount now, so that way we can budget that. So please think about that. I'm not like you have to give it to me right now, but we will need it to think about it. I did pull up just basic CPI real quick the other day. February was 2.4%. Of course, March, if you've seen anything, things have went up. So now it's setting at 3%. So just.
That we had to wait for Roger.
And that's
Yeah,
fine.
good.
This is notes that I have for my department head meeting. So I want you to start thinking about it because it will make
Budget
doing our
easy.
budgets a lot easier. And then also on that note, last year I don't know if it's my problem or it's fault, but I didn't talk about raising the basic pay scales on the wage agreements. So that was the last time that was done, the starting wages was in 24. So we need to consider that possibly going into 27 if you want to look at raising those or adjusting those starting wages any. I guess I know Roger's not here, but I'm gonna keep talking about it, budgets. The governor was presented with that other legislation on Tuesday. As of what I have not heard, that she's not done anything officially with it, with the tax bill. Maybe Willie can give some insight on what was said on Wednesday at Little KAC. From my knowledge, she has until I think either the 23rd or the 24th to either veto, pass, or if she doesn't sign it, it does still go into law. So we really don't know yet what there could be far as budgets go in the state level. But I would like to be able to tell the department heads what you guys are thinking. Are you thinking to hold, decrease, increase? I guess as a department head, I'd like to kind of know, so we can, when working on our budgets, we can kind of try to accommodate the overall consensus when we come in. And as soon as if I hear anything on what the governor does, I will let you know. But that bill, if you don't know, is a 3% cap with protest petitions. Just a lot of, Willie, what did they say? It's a tax lid, pretty much what it is. It's not really property tax relief. It's just another tax lid in general terms. So, Willie, do you have anything from Wednesday that you'd like to share?
No, you covered everything, but there again, I think we ought to wait for Roger on this.
And that's fine. I just want you two to start thinking about it, because like I said, these are all on my notes for today. So we can either talk about it at the end of the month. Of course, reminder, I won't be here. Jill will be doing that meeting, but she does a good job on letting me know what happens and stuff. So just from my meetings, there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to elections due to the federal level and the state level. So I am going to have a lot of questions, and it's probably not going to be too woohoo on that level. Just because the federal government thinks it needs to put in regulations, and of course nobody's going to give us funds to do these things. These are all things that we have to abide by and figure out. But anyways, so
I don't mind cost of living increases. I would love to be able to have a budget where we don't go up and see, so that's what I say. I mean, cost of living increases, we do need to do that, because everything's getting more and more inflation. But the property taxes and everything, I just don't want to see any raises. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right, major jumps.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, we can work on that.
Okay.
Give you guys
I think they would
some insight.
just coming in. And then also on that note, do you want to, not that we have set a day, do you want to do it like we've done in the past and do a 1-day budget workshop? Do you want to try to add them in?
What makes it easiest? One day, well, I mean, 1 day is nice. It usually takes about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, depending, and kind of work through the budgets and
either that, or we could take on 5 every meeting. And
yeah, there's a lot of counties that have already started, and they have 2 or 3 come in each meeting. But I know, I think when I sent them out, everybody's like, already? And I'm like, yeah, already. I'm sorry, but and that's what makes it hard. And I feel that the legislature doesn't understand is we are already trying to predict what 2027 is going to do. And at one point they were wanting us to predict out like 3 years. And it's like, it's hard enough to predict out 1 year, I feel, with the uncertainties in the markets and everything. But
And you want to do the employee evals.
oh yes, I will send those out in May. So then those are also part of the budget. So when, like I said, if you set the cost of living, then when they do the evaluations, they will have a plan on if they're doing any performance raises at that time, which all this would take effect January of 27. And we discussed that at the department head meeting also. Since there seemed to be a little confusion on that last year. So is that
I for one would rather do it all in 1 day.
all in 1 day? Okay.
that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's, as far as the cost of living, I mean, it's like you say, it's 2.4 to 3 is
Currently, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess at the next meeting, I'll put on Jill's
May
notes.
1st or not?
Yeah, it's May 1st, yes. So look at your May calendars and kind of, so our meetings will be the 15th and the 29th.
And I won't be here the 15th. We've got,
Okay,
so, but,
okay, I guess we'll just kind of monitor our
if
overall
we need, if
current
I
situation,
can-
and then if
I
we need
could-
to adjust, we
if
can
we
adjust.
need to come in on the 14th, I just hate
Okay.
to move a meeting for me, but I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But I
Um,
need to find out if we're gonna fly out or drive
What you're
out
doing, okay.
Thursday or not.
okay. So I guess if we wanted to look in this week, or if you want to do it, I have, budget class on the 4th. But I'm,
Tuesday and
Gonna be
Thursday
attending.
work really good for me in the afternoon.
Okay.
So what about you? And
Well, that's fine. I'm pretty good.
do we want to kind of? Let me double check. I don't think I have anything on the 19th or the 20th. I think that's typically kind of when we've done it in the past. Yeah, I have down on the 19th. That's possibly, so that must be about the timeline that we used last year. So do you want to go with Tuesday afternoon, the
if that's
19th
okay with-
for right now? We'll tentatively schedule that
Yeah,
Or, I'm sorry.
budget workshop
yeah.
starting at,
One would be, well, it's whatever. What time would work for you?
It doesn't
say, Leslie, I
matter to
don't
me.
think you attended last year, but I don't remember. It's up to, I mean, you're welcome to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm already scheduled to be in another county.
Okay.
So,
And we may have to do a few at like that meeting after or something, if there's some people that can't get in, or I've had them give them to me ahead of time, and I've presented to, at the workshop if, need be, but you want to do 1:00 or 1:30?
That's fine.
1:00?
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be fun.
All right, I will. We need a motion to set a work day.
I would.
Make a motion. We set a work date for May 9th
Yep,
May
or
19th,
19th,
May 19th.
1:00.
at 1:00.
I'll second that. It's been moved and
For
seconded.
budget and employee.
Oh, for budget
Budget.
and apply, yeah.
Budget.
Right, it's been moved and seconded for May 19th, 1 PM for budget and employee evaluation meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, all opposed.
I, at this time, do not have anything else I know of. I can go get Steve. I know he was wanting to get in and out of here. He's got a meeting, so let me go get him.
I'm gonna need 5 minutes to have executive session.
Do you want to do that after Steve? Okay, yeah.
Did you go to the illusionist?
No, I didn't.
I don't know how they do it.
No. They are talented.
It's gotta be some kind of a trick, but how, I don't know.
I just thought, I told Steve, go ahead, you're gonna, landfill bids that were due, the bids that we need to do that were presented April 1st. Steve, I did to Brett. I don't know. I don't know. This is something new for me. Sorry, Leslie. Like,
No, that's
what I'm
okay.
doing.
This is for the scrap?
Yes.
Scrap iron.
So I think that one was officially received. That's the emailed one, correct?
Yes, that was an emailed one that came in on April 1st, I believe. It should be the date.
Yeah, we just clicked it to the notice, which we didn't know how that worked because doesn't the notice say it was supposed to be received? When is it?
The Cheyenne County Commission will be accepting bids for scrap metal pile located at the landfill April 1st, 2026. The winning bid must be registered with the state of Kansas as a scrap metal dealer and have the pile cleaned up by June 30th. All loads will be scaled at the landfill during working hours, 8 AM to 4 PM Tuesday through Saturday. Winning bidder will assume all liability for accidents or damages to equipment while working at the landfill. Cheyenne County Commissioners reserve the right to accept or refuse any or all bids to extend the deadline due to the unforeseen circumstances. Bid sheets can be picked up at the landfill or at the courthouse public works office And they need
So
rust.
my only question was, is I think it says by April 1st, and we didn't receive the one until it was on April 1st. Or wait. No, it doesn't say that file located at the landfill by April 1st. So,
March 31st on the
oh, okay,
note there.
okay.
That is a different. Getting ready to go fishing?
Actually, next week, yeah,
Oh, good.
a couple days.
We had two bids. One was from Langer Industries and the other was from Derek Fromholtz. Langer came in at 115 per ton and Derek came in at 150.
Make a motion, we go with Derek
Fromholtz.
Almost.
Wait, what? Hold on.
No,
Whoa. That was 115. That was 150.
That's what they pay.
What they pay, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Making sure.
this,
Yes.
this is the thing. not
Oh,
correct.
right, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
me too. I was like,
It's like going,
That's what they pay.
my bad.
That's right, yeah.
Lord help us.
So I'll make a motion, we go with the bid of $150 from Derek Farmont for the scrap metal.
I'll second that. Been moved and seconded to accept the bid amount of, he'll pay $150 per ton for scrap metal from Derek Fromholtz. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Paid us on our expenses.
You do want that.
Effective.
I didn't know. Did you need one?
Any questions?
Good to see you, Trent. He's backing in.
Yeah, it's running good. It's a good truck and we're hanging on to pay for it. Hang on. Okay, I guess next item, I need to bring to you is I need to purchase some larger culverts, use in replacements of some of our wood box bridges. There's three of them that I'd like to purchase. There's one 78 inch diameter by 50 foot in length, one 72 inch diameter, 50 foot in length, and then one 60 inch by 40 foot long. And these are all 14 gauge corrugated. And I received two quotes, one from J&J Drainage, came in at 19,700 and that's delivered. And the other was quite a bit different, 12,375. I believe that was delivered. And that was from, I'm sorry, from Wellborn Sales.
Before.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. From both, actually. It's
Okay.
just this time Wellborn came in. quite a bit lower.
At 78, what was the length on that one? I didn't get that. By 50?
Yeah, two of them are 50 foot long and
Yeah.
the other one's 40 foot long. So I would request that we purchase from Wellborn,
For $12,375
yeah,
delivered.
and I'll follow it.
Okay.
I'm sure it is, but I just noticed it's not on here, but that's usually what he includes in his quote, so.
I'll make a motion, we purchase the culverts from Wellborn.
Yep.
for the amount of
$12,375.
$12,375.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to purchase 3 culvert pipes, 78, 20, was the other one 22? 60. 72, okay, 78, 72, for $12,375. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. My 2 look like a 7.
And the next item I have is in regards to the loader, the used loader we're looking at. Again, just to kind of remind you, this was a unit that is up for sale. Foley bought it from a rental company in Arizona, and that's where the unit sits right now. Of course, we'd like to get our own eyes on it, see what it looks like. Yeah. That's
That's fully looked it over and examined it down, I take it?
they want to get it. That's where I'm going with this is they need to have it up here to get it looked at for themselves. They want to inspect it. They would have held it for us up until for today, but they do want us to sign a sales agreement. And it's agreement to purchase pending our inspection of the machine when it arrives in Colby. The total amount on that loader would be, it's going to need teeth. It's a smooth bucket. That's going to add 3,500 onto the 112,000. So it'd be $115,500. It's a 2018.
But we
950 GC.
don't know anything about it.
They gave us on their website. They have the inspection that they had done on it down there. It wasn't Foley personnel that did the inspection. It was a different Caterpillar outfit that inspected it down there.
And then you would go down and inspect it once it got here.
Right. Once it would arrive in Colby.
They want us to sign the sales agreement before they inspect it. So they're kind of acting like a broker on this, I take it?
Well, they own the machine.
Okay.
Foley does.
But they,
And then, did you get a chance to see that at all?
I was in 4 counties yesterday. So
Yeah.
a little busy, but it's their boilerplate language. And on the front, it does say pending inspection.
Yeah.
It was handwritten, right?
Mhm.
The front. It says pending inspection. It says subject to satisfaction of Cheyenne County. So that is your right of refusal. Like if it doesn't meet our specs, then the handwritten portions in here make it to where you can get out of the contract.
That would be sufficient then.
I
He's got that.
believe so because it's very specific in regards to subject to inspection in Colby and subject to satisfaction of Cheyenne County. Because there's no money being paid down, right?
Correct.
And so it would be all due and owing at once. So this gives the county's not having to put money down that we would have to be worried about getting back by signing the agreement. This is just basically another hold on this piece of equipment until Cheyenne County can get down there and make a decision.
get the Colby and make a decision.
Yes. And then before we sign it, I don't want to rush it, but I didn't know if you guys, what your thoughts on it are, if this is, I think it's probably a good way to go to get a used machine.
This is out of, we had talked about this last meeting. It's not out of a mining company or?
A rental. It was just, they said it was a rental unit. There was 3 of them up for sale down there. They had, or Foley had purchased and they sold 2 of them. This would be the last one left. And this was the one we were looking at. It has 7,100 hours.
Will they warranty it for a set period of time or do you know?
There's no warranty on it. We'd have to buy a warranty if that's even possible. There was a comparable machine, and another 2018 model year, and only had 2,000 hours, and for $22,000 additional dollars, you could get a 2-year warranty on it.
22,000.
Yeah. So the machine I think it did sell. It went for, I think, $216,000. Yeah, a lot less hours than this unit does. And there are some things that come up in the inspection that we would definitely want to be looking at, you know, a couple of red flags. Some of the pins and the joints on the bucket, or, you know, they do have some play. They were noted to be loose. How loose? Don't know. And then on the transmission, it noted that it was noisy. So, and we don't know any more on the transmission until it shows up in Colby.
Yeah.
The other option is we don't sign this and we just roll the dice and wait until they do get it up here so they can look at it.
We're
And
we're rolling the dice if it has a noisy transmission, because that's big. That's a big expense if we get it and it works for.
I agree. Yeah,
Say it works for 2,000 or 1,000 hours, which would be great. That transmission is going to be probably 40 grand.
but again, once they have it shipped up to Colby, they will do their thorough, they'll go over it. And that's one of the items that they would fix before they would sell it. If there is a problem with the transmission.
That's not what that says. I mean, whether you're satisfied with it or not, it doesn't say anything in regards to,
It's not spelled out on no.
it doesn't say anything in regards to that you have the right to require repairs before purchase.
A lot of times with rentals, somebody will slam the gears and stuff, and if that's got a ZF automatic, that would be why it's making
Hard on it. Yeah.
very hard on it. I mean, my loader is not the caliber of a Cat. It's a John Deere, and mine is $30,000. If something ever happens, that scares me, Steve.
Okay.
I just don't want to see you I don't want to see it when we have trouble. But if
agree.
the transmission is making noise, walk away. Sorry, that's you can come. So anyway, that would be what my advice is. But that's
Be worth it just to at least bring it up and look at it. That
who's
way
going
you
to pay to
know.
bring it up here.
Oh,
'Cause
we
that-
don't pay.
Well, that's why they're wanting to do this, is because somebody has to pay to get it up to Arizona to Kansas, and that's why they want us to do this, is because that'll be into the sale price. Otherwise, it's going to stay in Arizona, and they're going to try to sell it in Arizona. So, but noisy transmission, I'm sorry, that scares a crud. It could just be a torque converter, but that's still pretty expensive. So, I would walk away.
That at the bottom, but I'll go with your advice.
I don't want to have trouble down the road, which is a good chance. Transmissions aren't supposed to make a lot of noise. And if they noted that, it's making noise. So. But
I had one last item here. It's a much smaller one. Our Molson terracer has had the hydraulic pump essentially went out, inoperable right now. Molson is also out of business. So we've been working with Bumper and Will's been looking for a while here to try and find a part. We did come across an individual that used to work for Molson, and he has the part that we need. He's not in a business, it's just a private individual, and we need to get a check to him for this part. It's for $350. I asked, see if we could get a ticket, and pretty much, I don't think that's gonna happen. So I don't know if there's a way we can fill out one of these, Charissa, to get his name. Yeah, his name and address and what the item is and the dollar amount. Would that be sufficient?
I think so. Don't you, Teresa?
As long as we have,
We'll have to
yeah,
go,
we have to have that information.
and we'll go
in
pick it
order to
up,
pay.
and we need to go pick it up. It's in Utica. We also have another item down that way that we need to pick up as well. Save a lot of shipping. It's a toolbox for the lowboy. That's something you don't want to ship. We could probably do it cheaper to go get it. So
fine with that. I don't think we need to vote on it. It's under 1,500, so.
Right, I just, the whole process, I didn't have a chance to visit with
Yeah, I
Sharissa
was-
till
that's
today, so,
yesterday, so.
but without that part, basically a terror is no
Who will
good.
send it, you think?
Who do we send?
Who will you send it?
Probably Warren. Unlikely. Okay. And all on the loader, I'll just tell them we're not gonna sign the agreement,
You tell them
and
you-
they can do whatever they want on their end, if they wanna
you
get it
just-
up here. I have a feeling they're gonna sell it down there, because they've already sold 2 of them. And I assume they sold them, in Arizona, so.
I know you wanted that, and I know we need one, but I want to stay away from if it's making noise.
Right, and
I'm sorry, I know you wanted it.
I just,
I don't care what they do.
it looked appealing, other than, and the part about the transmission did not. And
I just don't want to see when you need it, the machine break on you. It's not worth it. I'd rather spend a little more and get a little bit better machine. Something, I don't want to see that happen.
Just, yeah, right now, a more expensive one isn't in our equipment budget, so, and here later this year, we're gonna be addressing the, new motor grader, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to hang on to as much for that.
Gotcha.
That'll
Well,
be
you'll
coming up
find
in the
something.
fall.
Find something.
We'll keep looking.
Tell them you got a commissioner that's a hard ass. Blame it on me. I've got white shoulders.
Thanks, Brett.
Yep, Steve, have a good weekend.
Hey, you too. We'll see ya.
Those transmissions, if there's any noise and if they get it in pieces, and it's bad.
Oh, what got me it was rental.
The rental, yeah.
Yeah. Right there, it's like, nice.
Like a feed yard or,
Mhm.
right.
Sounds like Dan.
Okay, is he out? Oh, come
Unless
on
we
in.
need to take a
Oh.
quick recess.
Do him.
Yeah, we could do that.
Come on up, I'm sorry.
Bigger. Always the same.
I got a hold of Amanda and talked to her before the last meeting, which was Wednesday or Monday. And I guess she forgot to bring it up. But I told her the 27th, which she may not be there. If you guys want, if the city council wants me there to talk,
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
Sorry, I meant to. Yeah.
I just come back in to make sure we kind of cleared stuff up, because last time I wasn't real prepared, and
We're working on it.
I just thought I'd come back in and see if there's any other questions or anything. So I know something come up about how everything's paid out as far as county trucks going to city fairs. Yes, that happens. The city pays for city runs, county pays for county runs. Meetings and trainings are all split 50-50. Now, back when you guys first started the chief thing, I come in and talk to you guys, because there is actually, the way it's set up, you could have 3 chiefs. You can have a county chief, you have a Bird City chief, and you have St. Francis City chief.
Well, that's what, it's always been, right?
Well, it is after you hired a county chief. So, and the city does pay someone the city chief. They pay that chief some, but it's not a lot. Of course, there's not near the number of calls as county, but I think it's like $80 every 6 months over there. And the way I did it over here was back when we set it up, I went 200 a month, and I don't take any calls. I don't take any extra pay for calls.
By the
So,
way, thank you for what you've done.
oh yeah. So I just want to come in and kind of clarify that a little bit. Like, none of the trucks are split as far as cost goes. The airbags were split between the city and the county. A lot of the equipment is split in cost, but trucks never work, because I never thought about it, and 2, it was never done that way before. And 3, you guys have the option to get rid of your truck at any time. Where if you split the trucks, you're gonna be back and forth with everything.
Well, there's separate city trucks.
Right, there's 2 city trucks up there and everything else county trucks. And city trucks went to county runs too. So that was the one thing I did go right after I became county chief. I went and talked to city council about taking the truck out there if we had to, because the county don't really have a pumper per se, like house fires. And we've got the one with the Volkswagen. That's about as close as we got to a pumper.
Are we having any trouble hooking up to a water truck? To have the right end on it or something?
County don't. What I understand. I mean, last time I knew it did not.
We need to figure out what we need.
Yeah, because we can't suck it that high up either. So they were talking about throwing a hose in the top. It's like, yeah, we can't do that. I don't think we can put that high anyway, the water.
We need that.
See if it's still here.
Yeah, probably. I'd like to make sure we figure out that for the,
Yep.
because it save lives. What truck is that on that we're talking about? I just want to make sure we tell him correctly.
I think they've only got the one water truck now, the trailer. It's a semi-trailer.
We just need a different input on it, correct?
From what I understand, yeah, but I don't know what their dilemma is with it. But
We'll just have Steve check into it and see if we.
He's still here.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Hey, sorry, you've got a water truck for the fire department that has, we need to get a different end on it. Can we have Will maybe do?
Yeah, I've been looking at that.
Okay,
I've got a couple
ideas.
well, one would be, I just gotta take time to do it or get with Will. There is a 3-inch cap on the front of that.
Now, we've got, I'm sorry,
I need to get big cheater. I just need to, I've messed with rusted on caps a number of times. It just takes a little time and I think I might be able to get it off. If not, there's a spot on the back that we would have to put a flange and
is
get
there
a fitting.
any
so we
stuff
can-
up at that hangar? Would any of that water stuff up at the hangar work?
I'm not familiar. I know what you're talking about. We could look, but,
How big are they?
and well, before we go on, I gotta say that there's one potential bugaboo about this tanker is it has a liner that was put in it and that liner is deteriorated and it just keeps flaking off. I mean, to the point where it plugs our discharge. We've had TJ in there and spent a day cleaning that thing out and it's still got crap in it. I haven't looked at it lately. Maybe a lot of it's chicken out, but I mean, there is a issue. I don't know how you screen that water coming in or just pump it right on.
Yeah.
And if the pumps, if they can handle it, but you get high pressure pumps and I'm pretty sure they got really small veins
You get some.
and they'll plug up. I mean, it's been my experience.
it'll plug the nozzles. We've done that with pumping out of stock tanks and stuff. Plug nozzles with rocks and stuff.
But I'm all for getting a better method of getting the water off of there for the fire department. It just might take a little doing. And then, like I said, there's still the issue when you're pulling off the bottom.
You're gonna get that set up.
Well, potentially, yeah. I sound like I need to pop the lid and take a look again and see how things look in there. If it's gotten better, or if there's still.
I was gonna say that, how that person at the Pressure Association, we got donated a whole bunch of pipe and fittings and
Cam lock
different
fittings,
sizes, huh?
cam lock fittings with the
Yeah,
locking.
I couldn't tell you
lever.
what's all in there because I don't know anything about them. I know we've got about 3 crates that somebody donated to us. Maybe somebody, sometime if you have a minute, go out, look at them and see if you ever need any of them.
What building? Where they go
It's
to?
in the steam engine building.
Okay.
And if you want in that hangar, just let me know and I'll tell you how to get in if I'm not around.
Yeah.
And you've seen that, there's a whole bunch of
Right.
water stuff.
Yeah, we went up there. We did grab something. It had been a couple years ago.
Anytime you want to get in there, I've got a keys if you want.
Okay.
That's all county stuff. Thank you. And
Were you gonna be much longer, Dan? I mean,
No.
I had one other item. We got to visit with you guys. So, well, Dan,
I don't know that I really have a whole lot else. I just wanted to catch you guys up on that.
it's good to
I
know.
know at one time I did bring up the idea of having a fireboard. You guys didn't want to do it at the time. I don't know if you were on then. But just something where you, and it would be up to your new chief, whoever your new chief is, needs to be making these decisions if they want it or not. But they would be able to go talk to your fireboard and your fireboard could bring stuff to you. You would have to give them some authority to purchase and stuff, I'm sure. I think Sherman County has one and they say it works really well. Just food for thought. That's not,
I think what we do is we look over the applicants and we decide on one and then we talk to them and then we step forward and
I mean, I'm here to help, but I sure don't want to step in the way because I'm not going to be here next year when
I know.
they're doing it. So
We've got the ball rolling and we'll call on you, trust me.
I know you did note a change on the job description. Do they need to approve that change? I did make that change from the last meeting.
Yeah.
Was about the inspecting of the trucks, right, Dan?
yeah, I just changed it to, the chief schedules it instead of the chief does it all, but.
That's all I can't.
I think that was the only one I had with it.
Yeah, from the meeting and notes, that's all I had, so. Sorry, I should have highlighted it and I did not. Oh, no, right here. Perform, responds, schedules weekly inspections of trucks rather than performs quarterly checks of equipment. You changed it to schedules weekly checks on trucks.
When are you doing budget workshop this year?
We just set a date for May 19th.
Okay. I may try to get one of these other guys, unless they have a decision by then, I'll
Okay.
get one of these other guys to come in. Cause I don't want to set the budget when I'm not gonna be there. So,
I think Keaton is currently working on that.
okay. I'll get with him and
To me, he was the one that's been working on a lot of the financials, and so,
he sent me a
Did you
message
see his
yesterday,
email?
so,
did you see your email I sent you?
yeah.
And I attached him to it now, just because I know he's been working on all the,
Yeah, and the
Financial
title,
stuff.
chief,
now who
how
you
wanna say
want
that.
to have come in, if it's him.
He sent me a message yesterday, so I'll get with him and see.
Chris.
Goes from.
Or you need to pull
Chief
somebody in from
schedules
Bird.
weekly checks on the trucks versus how.
Probably all three.
No, it's just approve
Just
the
the
revised.
revised job description, yeah.
I'm fine with it. Are you fine with it?
Just to revive it,
No, yeah, we're just to approve it,
Approve the revised.
the revisions,
make a motion to approve the revive the
revisions.
revisions.
For the
Fire
job
department,
description for fire chief.
the fire chief, for the title of fire chief.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to, what you said. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
It's the weather, Brett.
It's the weather. We're all excited because we might get some rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I don't think, did we officially ever advertise? Because I don't think we knew what we were doing. So do we want to officially advertise? Because I know I sent the application out to you to distribute to the guys, but and then set a date so that way we can either have interviews or to get something set.
I would strongly recommend that it be advertised.
Okay.
that's really all I have, unless you guys have more questions.
I guess, so in advertising, is it just for the position of fire chief, like county fire chief?
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Dan.
You got more questions, give me a call back.
Okay.
I'll come on.
Come on up.
Do we have to run that for just
2
1
weeks.
week, 2 weeks?
We've been at 2 weeks
Okay,
And then that way, like the
Somebody.
Okay.
mid-May meeting,
So, yeah, by May 15th.
May,
Okay,
and
sounds
that's gonna
good.
be before the,
Trying to get something set so we can
Yeah.
get moving.
yeah, but, yeah. And then,
Okay.
and then that way the decision would be made right before the budget workshop and.
Okay.
I mean, it's a, trying to
Yep.
get tight.
Yeah, because, what is today, 17th, so I'm already past getting it in, so it won't get in until the 30th publication, so 2 weeks would put it right. Like if they have it turned in by the
Yeah.
14th, I'm gonna have to cut the day before in order to have it for the 15th, since our paper only cuts on Friday mornings now. Much. I mean, I could see, but okay,
Right.
sorry,
We can- No, we'll just. keep
Trying to-
speaking.
Thank
I
you.
need to request executive session for
How long?
non-elected personnel.
How long?
5 minutes.
So for 5 minutes of executive session for non-elected personnel.
I'll second. That's been moved and seconded for 5 minutes executive session for non-elected personnel. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye.
just a second. Where you running, Willie?
Gets
We'll have a good day.
Okay, go
All right, we'll call the meeting back to order. No decisions were made in executive session.
Go ahead. Sorry, Cody is responding.
Call the meeting back to order. No decisions were made in executive session. Get Dawn in here.
We'll do
Gonna
that
take a
now.
recess.
Oh,
He wanted to do an executive session.
I have for 5 minutes of executive session for advice of counsel.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded for 5 minutes executive session for advice of counsel. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
good.
we'll call the meeting back to order.
Rates have come down a little bit, but not, most of it's in CDs, so it's,
Locked in.
yeah, we're locked in. On that. There are a couple of CDs at Western State that are coming up for renewal at the end of April. So I'm gonna see what they can do with those. And I'll probably have more things for you guys to sign after we get that kind of settled. And then I received the tax sale documents from district court. Paying taxes and abating taxes from the tax sale. So I've got all of these abatements need to be signed. And I have them paper clipped by parcel, but every one of them needs signed.
Need a motion on approving all these.
It was a court order.
Yeah,
So we don't need a motion.
I don't believe so.
I mean, if you want to, better safe than sorry, you can make a motion to, so it's in the minutes.
Yeah. Where's the abatement number?
It might not be in order either because okay, so 2619 through 2647. And it was for, do you want the tax sale case number?
I think we just need the abatement numbers.
Okay.
Whatever.
It's like CV3, right?
Yes,
2553.
yes.
CV3.
PV?
CV.
Can I think
Victor.
CN hyphen 2025 hyphen CV hyphen
Oh,
0. So, yes, 25 CV3.
2619 through 2647.
The abatement on 2619 to 47.
Been moved and seconded to approve of abatements 2619 through 2647. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, all opposed.
And if you guys want to just hold off till the end to sign all those, that's fine.
I can do it while you're talking.
While I'm talking, okay, well, I'm gonna start throwing out numbers, so I have a feeling you're gonna
Yeah, wait.
be,
Distracted.
because I know how you are with numbers. So in this last legislative session, Senate Bill 325 was passed. And so the Treasurers Association has been trying for the last 6 years, maybe a little bit longer, to get the fees changed to where the motor vehicle department, since it's a state mandated function, not be paid by ad valorem taxes and property taxes, to be actually paid either by the state or some other means. We didn't feel that it was, as an association, didn't feel that it was county budget needing to be funding this operation. We finally got a bill passed. Wasn't exactly what we were looking for, but it's something. So there's a new fee that's going to go into effect. Technically, it can go into effect July 1 of this year. My feelings on that are we already had a budget set for 2026. I wasn't expecting this to pass. We're kind of set for this year. I don't really feel comfortable with implementing the fee July 1. I do have the opportunity to opt out July 1. Because I don't feel that it's our constituents from January 1 to June 30th didn't have the fee, and then from July 1 to December 31st have the fee. Doesn't set well with me when we've already had a county budget set. So my theory is it'll go in effect January 1 for everybody, since I have that option. The other option we have is we can set the fee. $1, $2, $3, up to $5. We can also set the fee from $5 to $10 with a commissioner resolution and passing of the resolution. And I have to submit the resolution to the state, all of that. I don't feel that we need to go over $5 for our county. So this will come more into effect during budget time. I've ran my numbers right now with the way the fees generated for revenue for motor vehicle department is only about $30,000. It's a 3-year average I figured out was 30,000. We do on average 4,700 transactions. So if we do the dollar, that'll get us another $4,700. If we do $5, it gets us another almost 24,000. So by implementing this fee, I will then cut my budget, my treasurer's budget by this, because this will now fund the department instead of it going on the tax roll. So I want to make sure you guys are okay with the fact that I'm not implementing this July 1. And it'll get implemented January 1. And then when it gets closer to budget time, we'll talk more numbers and more. But it's out there, it's done. I will say with our little KCA in Colby on Wednesday, talking to the other treasurers, our surrounding counties are going to go to $5 July 1. So if there's talk amongst peoples, that's the talk. So I want you guys to be aware of it. Have any questions? I have a whole thing on all the things that the bill does, what it's changing, but
And that's Senate Bill 325.
325,
Okay.
correct. Okay. Yeah, there was a facility fee that was available to us to be able to charge to constituents. And Dolores did that for a little bit, but it was only, the facility fee was could only be charged when a taxpayer walked into the facility to do business. We could not apply the fee to online, over the phone, mail in, anything like that. And so it was difficult because you were almost punishing the taxpayer for coming in and handling their business in person. And then on top of that, the mail in, you would have the envelope, the stamp, the everything else so this is a flat transaction fee. It'll hit every transaction, whether it's mail in, walk in.
It's like the fact that the drop box is right outside the door.
They
And if-
get grumpy and
like, just put it in the box and we won't have to charge you.
yeah. And then we pay $5 to mail it to them because they've got a fleet of farm vehicles. Yes, yeah. So this is why we opted for a flat, every transaction gets it. It's not, and this will help because there's a lot of motor vehicle people that rent homes that don't pay property tax, and the motor vehicle fee will fund the motor vehicle office instead of the taxes funding the office. So, yes, it was a step in a better direction, but not 100% what we were looking for. Yes, but it was their little shot at trying to help with property tax, lowering property tax, and getting a state function funded elsewhere. So
That's not gonna work, you say.
No, it will, I mean, it will work. It's just, it wasn't, we wanted the state to fund it. It's still, I mean, theoretically, the taxpayer is still funding it by paying the fee, but it's that motor vehicle transaction will fund that motor vehicle department instead of ad valorem property tax funding a motor vehicle department. So the mill levy, my budget will go down, the mill levy theoretically would decrease a little bit because I won't be asking for as much taxpayer money. So.
Maybe we'll do that on.
In high hopes.
So
I wish, but.
with the, so the $1 to $5 transaction fee is statute now, or law now, bill now, whatever. The above 5 to 10, it's a 3-year time frame that we get to utilize that. There is a sunset on that. So some of the bigger counties are doing the $10 so they can build a facility or fund, you know. So that was kind of for the bigger counties that needed to dig themselves out of a hole. They could charge the $10 for the next 3 years. Like I said, at $5 getting an extra 24, almost 24,000 in revenue, I think will go a long ways for our small county. So that's kind of where I was at with that. We only need one signature on the abatements. Okay.
I shouldn't.
I do it afterwards.
So that's all I had. I had a bunch of numbers on that bill. If you want more numbers, I just didn't know what all you guys. They talked about it a little bit at the little KCA. When we were in the big room. Yeah, in the theater. So I didn't realize that it was going to go into effect July 1, and I have to report back by noon today if we want it to go into effect by July 1. I just didn't, yeah, like I said, we had already had this budget set. So I'll set the new budget for July for next year. The fee will go into effect next year, and it seemed cleaner to me.
Yep.
So,
The equity of it.
so. Any questions for me on interest or anything else?
Thank you, Dawn.
When I have more information on the CDs, probably next meeting, I'll get back to you on those. Okay, thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Yep, you too.
Eddie, you're up. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. So I don't know whether the flooring project is finished. There's not been any communication. 'Cause you were gonna have that ready to pay today, right? Or
I have to
not?
check with my accounts payable employee. He wasn't in there. He wasn't in there. So,
6,000.
yeah, for day,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I think
saw
I think it was, since it was approved last meeting, it should be in this. So,
So, yeah, there's not been any communication, so I'm in the dark. So there's been no update on the INA door, e-card door. 3 of us been gone, and so that we're not ready to move forward on paying that yet. And then Comfort Source on an air conditioning unit. That has probably been paid today.
I hate to say that I don't know.
I haven't seen that.
I thought I saw that.
3,395. To Comfort Source.
Okay.
Then on Dish TV, we're putting numbers together on getting Dish TV in all those rooms. And they've got a program available for facilities like that,
Okay.
hospitals. But we're getting a second opinion from Direct and Vibe and so, like I say, Treva was working from that end on that, and so I don't have an update there.
That charge individually to people.
No, we would do that. But it looks like it would be way cheaper what we're paying compared to what we're doing
On
through
satellite.
Vibe. And with that package deal
Kind
with
of
the
attractive amount, right?
yeah, yeah. And then our four-wheeler up there, our last guy, when they went to get that out, why it wouldn't move, transmissions out of it, and he forgot to tell us. So anyway, it took a long time to get that sorted out. They finally decided it wasn't worth fixing. So it's an old machine, but anyway, we needed something, and Lewis Motorsports had a used one in McCook. And so I went up and looked at it, and I bought it and brought it back, and they're using it. And if they decide that's what they want, I will ask for reimbursement, $2,450. And if not, I'll just keep it. It doesn't matter to me, but it was something we had to, had to act on. So that's where I'm at on that. And I guess that's all.
So we did the down payment to Comfort Source at 315 for the AC unit.
Okay.
I've not seen anything else coming back in,
Okay, very good. Thank you.
so sorry.
No, that's good. So that's all I've got.
Thank you. Okay. Ellen, you're up. How are you?
Just wanted to give you an update on the Land and Sky Scenic Byway and kind of where we are and what we did this last year. And I think you're all aware that the byways of the United States of America are administered by the Federal Highway Administration and passed down to the states, with KDOT as the main entity. And they're working with the Division of Tourism, and with the Department of Commerce and also the Kansas Historical Society. And I would like to thank you for your continued support of the byway. We're coming along. So this last year, we printed 10,000 copies of a trifold brochure. And we had those distributed along I-70, from Lyman to the Missouri state line. We're out of them, so we're going to be working on a new brochure. And then we did raise some funds last year by doing a meal for Bike Across Kansas. We worked with KDOT and the city of Goodland to install a new directional sign where that kiosk is down there. There's a barricade and it's hard to see the sidewalk, so KDOT put another sign up for us there. And we participated in the Kansas State Fair Explore Kansas promotion, which is a weekend. And our local producers, we had pinto beans, wheat, corn, Milo, sunflower oil, and brochures and banners. And a lot of people took pictures of the one banner that is basically the byway, the roadway. So they stopped and the kids picked up a lot of wheat and played with it. So anyway, it was good. We talked to quite a few people. Some of the other people that had booths there were very interested in Cheyenne County, and I think a couple of them brought their families up, which was really good. We also had memberships in the Northwest Kansas Travel Council, went to monthly meetings, and they also let us use their insurance for the Kansas State Fair because we can't afford it because it would be based on the total number of attendees for the all 10 days. And we're only there for 2. So that was a good thing. And then we also belong to the Tribal Association of Kansas and we attend their annual conference. Kansas Tourism has monthly webinars, which we are online for. And then the state has quarterly byway team calls where we get updates on all the byways on a national basis and also get reports of all of the byways that what they're doing and kind of keep on that. We're required to have an annual report for Kansas Byways Program, talking about what we did during the year and what we're doing the next year, and we've completed that. And we put listings in the Kansas Tourism Guide in all 3 of the counties with the byway. We also do the center showcase at the Travel Information Center, which is kind of their coffee bar for a week where we do the promotions for the byway and we have our banners up there. And then the National Scenic Byway Foundation also has webinars. And since we have not always had a byway person at the state level, when we started the byway, we're the only agricultural themed byway in the nation. So I called Sharon Strauss with the National Scenic Byway Foundation. She was going to check and just make sure that we were still the only one and there weren't any other ones. And I haven't heard back from her. So hopefully we're the only one, but you never know when somebody does that. And then we have a Facebook page. We're still working on our website. We ordered materials for the new kiosk that's south of Goodland. The county commissioners gave us $15,000 for the top because we wanted to get that ordered before steel went up. And hopefully that project will be completed before the college is out. And also, they were hoping to get the one finished here in Cheyenne County this week, but I don't think that is going to happen.
The one that's halfway over there, you can get that completed.
Yeah. Some of the parts were missing. They ordered those and they didn't order them painted, so they had to get them painted. And like I said, I think they were going to do them this week, but they had 6th graders come in and invade the college. And so that kind of some time. And obviously today is not a good day to be doing something like that.
That's been a long time coming.
But it was the least expensive way to go is to do it with the college. So we're kind of at their mercy. So hopefully that will be completed. And when we did the one south of Goodland, we had to have a survey. And so the engineering department did that for us. And the county put the culvert in and also did the roadway down there. So as soon as the concrete's poured, then we'll go ahead and get the signage up. We've got the signage already for the crops, but the interpretive signage, we haven't done that yet. And Rosa Cavazos is a Kansas Tourism Special Projects Coordinator, and they've just appointed her to oversee the byways. And then last week, we welcomed the 13th byway, which is the Pony Express Historic Byway, which goes along Highway 36 in Northeast Kansas. So it's been 10 years since we had a new byway. So that was good. And so because they ran out of byway guides, they're kind of waiting for this one to come online. So they're in the process of redoing that. So I don't think there's going to be changes, just the addition of that byway. And then on June 8th, 2016, KDOT Secretary Mike Keene announced the official designation of Land and Sky Scenic Byway. So we will celebrate the 10th anniversary this year, which I think is an accomplishment. And also, every year we ask that you appoint a county commissioner to our committee, which, if we meet, will be the 3rd Tuesday at 3:00 Central Time. Meeting on Tuesday. And this one will be in Goodland. We've been meeting at the libraries. So I need you to appoint somebody.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I'll volunteer.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, it was on that one that's not done yet.
If we had more funding, we would have hired it done, but we don't. So, yeah. All right. Thank you. You too.
Schedules.
Les, you can come up too if you have anything you want. Okay.
Just following him. That's why I invited you. Want to come?
He's leaving you all by yourself.
I guess, that's all right.
Gotta put you here. Running out of space.
Long time no see. Good to see you
Yeah,
guys.
good to see you too.
Originally, I'd kind of put us on the agenda to give updates, kind of general updates for the hospital. So maybe I'll get rid of the easy stuff first, and then we can go into more clinic things. Couple of things that we've got going on at the hospital right now. We did our community health needs assessment, which is a requirement that we do every 3 years. Had some good feedback on that. Would have definitely liked to have a little more survey participation, but we still had about 140 return surveys on that. We were kind of shooting as a goal for getting about 200. But we kind of came up with some top needs for our community, and then we're going to work on a kind of a follow-up call on how we kind of tackle those needs that we came up with. So I definitely will send you guys an invite for that call whenever we get that scheduled, if you guys would like to be on that. I think it's always good to at least have maybe one
I did it.
representative. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you, everybody that came to that, and you guys might have taken the survey too, and appreciate it if you did. Couple other things that we've got going on right now. The state of Kansas is adding a new physician residency, and it's going to be a rural residency. We've been asked to participate in that. There's about a total of 7 hospitals that are interested in this. For family practice, residencies are 3 years. The first year they would do something on the urban side over by Wichita, and then the second and third years of the residency, they would come out to do clinicals at some of the rural sites, all of which are in western Kansas, far western. We're the only ones in the northwest region. Tribune, Greeley County is also in somewhat northwest, but the rest are in southwest Kansas. They have some interest in what we received a grant fund from Patterson Family Foundation in the amount of $485,000 to build a maternal mobile health clinic. And so it's prenatal education, and we can take that around to some of the communities that have stopped doing OB and help to build our OB back up a little bit to what I think we could be today. But they have some interest in that, since none of the hospitals out this way are doing OB anymore. So we can use that trailer to kind of help with that education. It's in the process of being built, but hope to have it in the next couple of months on site. And
I was just going to comment on the OB. You know, we're very low volume for OB here, and there's a concern that, you know, can you do it safely and everything? But we spend quite a little bit on training and education to make sure it can be done safely. The other thing that's important to look at is it's a strategic move for the hospital, because when mama comes to the hospital, she brings her husband, she brings her family to the hospital. And so it's more than just the direct OB like you think about. And so that's one of the reasons we feel like it's a good investment, even though it is a somewhat of a risk. So
no, you're good. I appreciate the added input. We're planning to the 7 sites of us, as well as the Kansas College of Osteopathic Medicine. So this is a DO med school program that is bringing this residency to the state. And kind of to step back a little bit, the reason why they're bringing this residency is because when you have medical students that don't have a residency in state to go to, they go out of state for their residency, and there's a high likelihood that they don't come back after residency. If they get their license, they get their insurance in the state that they do their residency in, because they start practicing as physicians. And so we hated to see us lose those medical students to other states. And so we're going through the application process to start a new residency program. As you guys can imagine, that's not easy. They have to prove that all the clinicals check all the boxes, and the faculty are accredited and qualified to to teach. So it's exciting to be part of that. Obviously, without it being a rural residency, I don't think we would have had an opportunity to participate in something like this. Kind of in addition to that, they're looking at some, if you guys have heard this term, maybe not, it's called RHTP. It's part of the One Big Beautiful Bill, where there's some funds out there for rural hospitals. We're looking at trying to figure out ways. There's about $8 million that have been allocated to new residencies in the state of Kansas. Early on, it looked like we may not get to see any of that, but we pushed hard, and we think that we're making some headway. That money was going to be allocated to what they call anchor hospitals. They put 8 anchor hospitals in the state across different regions, and that money was going to be allocated to those. But none of those anchor hospitals are participating in this residency. So to get money for residency and not be participating didn't make a lot of sense. So we have pushed hard. And if you guys know Dr. Mosier, he's all for rural health, and he's from Tribune. And Tribune is a big player in this program and probably will be the administrators of the program for the rural side. So yeah, more to come on that, but we're excited about that opportunity. They're going to submit the application here in June. So
Is that kind of like in a grant form or?
a grant.
When you
Is that what
apply
you
for
said?
that?
No, it's an application to get accepted to be a resident, the new residence program. So they're going to look at, do you check all the boxes or requirements to have a residency? Do you have all the staff that are qualified to teach and facilitate those types of things? So if we can meet all those requirements and they think it looks good and it will be long-term successful, then they'll approve it. And then it's not going to start until 2027. The first year, the residents would go to an urban site in Wichita somewhere, and then the second and third years they would start doing their rural rotation. So that would start with us in 2028.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there was a time we were worried we wouldn't have a doctor. And
Yeah.
to have be a part of this,
Yeah.
my hat's off to you. That's good.
Well, you guys may not know, but we have a lot of medical students that come out
Mhm.
this way. Our doctors have been really good about taking in students. In addition to medical students, we have PA students, nurse practitioner students. We're starting to do some physical therapy students as well. So we try to be a hospital that's welcoming, and feel like, even starting sooner than that, we're getting the high school kids involved to where they're coming up to the hospital and they're doing tours, and they have a program through the Kansas Hospital Association called, it's a virtual healthcare career day. We've been doing this for 4 years now, and we had 13 participants this year from the 2 schools. So everything from nurses to physical therapists to PAs and nurse practitioners and doctors that are students interested in all those fields. So trying to get them to understand that, hospitals are not just doctors and nurses. There's lots of different things that you can go into in healthcare, and it's a stable field that will always be needed, and something that people can get into and really have a good career in. So kind of with all that, I wanted to kind of get to the meat too. The Bird City Clinic project I know has kind of been in discussion, and I guess for starters, I wanted to let everybody know that I know both the hospital as well as the Bird City Century 2 Foundation has kind of dedicated a couple of representatives to, represent each facility from a building project committee standpoint. And for the hospital, we picked Ryan and Carol. The board has selected them to be the building committee. And so we're going to try to run any questions or try to have them involved in meetings and things like that as they come up. I know that like some of the technical things that have been brought up are like legal jargon that we need to have established before the project gets started. But I think the long and short of what, I know Les and I and our board too wants to reiterate is that, this clinic for us is not going anywhere. The hospital, I wasn't here, but Les has made mention to me that you guys, commissioners, hospital board, fought blood, sweat, and tears to get that clinic in Bird City, to be the only healthcare providers in that community. And it serves a great purpose for Cheyenne County as well as the hospital specifically. We mentioned that we had a hospital board meeting yesterday, and that clinic serves things outside of just the numbers. But although we would love to see growth in our numbers in that clinic, we also utilize it for overflow. We've basically grown our space at our clinic here between providers. I mean, you have to have a certain number of offices for providers, their nurses, and then to be able to see patients. And a lot of times, we're sharing office space and nursing clinic exam room space for our patients. And for that reason, it's really good to have those days that our Bird City clinic is open, to have a provider go over there, whether that be for a half day or a full day. And so, yes, I do feel like if we build a clinic, we'll make some increase in volumes, but the volumes, I don't think at this point are a problem. We shared with the board, we share every month with the board our financials on the clinics as well as the hospital. And yes, although there's a negative bottom line in the clinics, Les and I made mention that, clinics bring and convert to other things than just clinic numbers. You have labs that people get after clinic visits, sometimes x-rays, and sometimes inpatient stays, and, babies. Got all kinds of things that clinic visits convert to. And so you can't just look at the bottom line of a clinic and say you should or shouldn't have this because it has a loss. In addition to that, talking about financials, part of this RHTP fund that I mentioned a minute ago with the
8 million.
Yeah. Well, there's total of 250 million that is being allocated, and that 8 million was just for the residency program. And so there's another section that's going to be based off of quality reporting metrics that we send in, and critical access hospitals, which we are, as well as rural health clinics, which we are at both sites. They're separate NPIs. Both of those and all of those three will receive some sort of funding as part of this act. And so by having that clinic over there in Bird City, we actually are going to receive some funding up front, as well as on an ongoing basis for reporting. So that's obviously not the reason why we have a clinic there. Nobody was going to know until just a few months ago that funding was going to be available. But it's an incentive for us in rural healthcare that they know that we don't have, positive bottom lines a lot of the time. So they're helping us to sustain those healthcare entities.
Should those monies be used to help fund it, or are they basically to?
Not so much. I mean, a small portion of it, Willie, can. The clinic side will initially be about a $50,000, and then each quarter thereafter, $25,000. The hospital can receive up to $100,000 initially, and then $50,000 each quarter after. So while there's a little bit of money there, $50,000 could go a long ways. So yeah, I think a portion of that could be to help with it, but there's also some sustainability with the reporting and those types of things. with this, you know, it could be something that that money could be put away and not used, and then see if it could be used as part of that project. But it's not gonna complete it for sure. You know what I mean? The amount that we're short as of today, we're not gonna be able to build it with that. Now, kind of to go into a little bit further detail with our partnership with the foundation, Karen has done a great job of helping us. And most recently, we wrote a grant for the Patterson Family Foundation, the same group that funded us on the mobile clinic last year. And so we were able to submit on April 3rd was the deadline. We submitted the application and requested $500,000 to help us bring this clinic to fruition. So we are hopeful. You never know with those types of things what the competition is out there. We know that Patterson has money to be able to fund things like this, and it's all about the story that we tell. And I think some things that we have going positive for us is that there's a significant portion of the clinic funding already established. And so if they can see that a donation like this or a grant award of this amount can finalize the project and help it, and also just seeing that there's already a successful clinic there is also helpful. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Who actually applied for that?
The application went through the Bird City Century 2 Foundation, and all of the money has been routed through the foundation because they're the
Well, I
ones
understand
holding the
it's being
fund.
routed through
Yeah.
the foundation, but you're employed by Great Plains, and then we've got the hospital board.
Uh-huh. Right.
So where's this direction? I mean, I'm trying to get in my head.
Yeah, I mean, that was a recommendation for the people that we hired as our grant writers.
So Great Plains has their
This-
own grant
This
writer?
we used to have our own grant writer that was employed, but we have not filled that position. So we contracted out a grant writer, and
When you
the
say we, who is we?
yeah, great, the hospital.
So the hospital board.
Okay, the,
I mean, I'm just trying to,
and so with the lease,
right?
we don't look like other managed hospitals,
Okay.
okay? And so with the lease, what happens is the hospital has its own accounts, and then we provide care and then bill for that care. And God willing, we collect for that care,
Mhm.
most of it, you know, but at some level, we need some assistance. And so the hospital board is out here, and they hold the funds that come from the tax dollar,
Mhm.
both the ad valorem and the sales tax. And periodically, they will move some money into the hospital. And we used to do it so that you could even identify a specific bill run to do that. And lately, they have been funding our depreciation amount, which we hold inside the hospital as funded depreciation. And then we use that to replace things like if we had to replace a CAT scanner or a
Mhm.
big piece of, doesn't even have to be a big piece of lab equipment anymore, but some of those things are kind of pricey, and so we can use it that way. And so that's that delineation. And so Great Plains, and Jeremy is a Great Plains employee, okay? And I'm responsible from Great Plains. I've been appointed over this hospital. And so we're responsible for the lease and manage the hospital. And so what that means is we're going to try and provide that care, bill for that care, do all of that, do the corporate compliance behind all of the little details behind that. And then the board, though, is going to handle things like our capital improvements and what have you. And so while we might talk about, well, we've got an issue that little clinic over there needs updated, you know, and there's several things. It's not, we have the problem being able to talk through the walls and, you know, everything else, and it's getting older and maybe needs a roof or something like that. And so, well, then we visit with the board about that, and typically they will, you know, maybe move some money for that. Now, the hospital will go ahead and budget for that, and even those capital capital needs. And sometimes we say, well, we plan to do that with grant funds or we plan to do that with our funded depreciation, or we're anticipating maybe donation or something from the county, from the hospital board, and to complete that. Okay. Now you ask about, does Great Plains write grants? And most of the grants that were written while I was administrator there, I wrote them myself. Okay, so it was a Great Plains grant. And they've been able to identify others that do it far better than me, which is great. But for example, the reason we have a physical therapy is because we went through a rural health transitions program grant years
I
ago.
think my question lies in, when it comes to the grant writing being done by Great Plains, is that for operations or is that for capital improvement?
It depends on what the grant is, because there are a variety of different grants. Now, we may write something for capital improvement. For example, we wrote a tax credit. We had actually 3 tax credits totaling over $1 million that are part of the hospital right now. And that's how the clinic got remodeled. That's how the back end of the hospital, the emergency room, was remodeled. And that was part of the large project where we went through and remodeled the whole hospital and did the HVAC. So we had those 3 things happen. And so, yeah, we participate in that. Now, with the current project, and it started, frankly, because of a private donation that the Bird City Century 2 got for that amount. And I think maybe $200,000, and they wanted to go ahead and build this thing for $250,000, which is not going to work, in this market, and so, well, we need to do something different. And so the Century 2's taken hold of that and been growing that. And I want to make sure I'm responsive to your question, but I'm not sure I feel like I'm wandering around the weed without really cutting me down.
No, I'm just trying to clarify for myself. It was the Patterson, is that right?
So the other thing about the Patterson grant is and Jeremy understands this, so I'm just talking here, but if you write a grant, and they're sizable grants, so almost $500,000 last year. But if you write a grant to them, then that's yours this year.
Right, but so is that grant being awarded to Great Plains, or is that being awarded to the hospital board, or is that being awarded to Century 2?
Maybe I can help. Okay. Maybe I can help, like, lessen Jeremy answer that. So we applied, let me go back to the beginning so everybody's on the same page. This project was on the back burner. We knew like the clinic was one of those things that needed to be updated in our community. We had a family that has ties back here make a donation in the amount of $100,000 strictly for a clinic. And then there was another donation made to another entity in the community for another project. So when somebody knocks on your door with 100,000 saying, hey, we would like, to see this improvement, you're like, I'll clear my slate and we'll start working on it. Obviously, wanting to be community minded, county minded, we want to work with Cheyenne County Hospital, which is how that door was open, that invitation was extended, there to make this go. So when we started, and hopefully I can answer your question on applying to grants, everything, that initial donation, and then the capital campaign funds that we've raised, the match day funds that have come in, the other privately pledged stuff, all went into a clinic fund held under the foundation. And so everything clinic oriented goes through the foundation and then is funneled through like either the hospital, like the purchase of the land that we discussed in the last meeting or 2 meetings ago, sorry, where whatever that, say $25,000 to buy the land, we cut a check to the hospital pays to purchase.
So when you say hospital, that's the hospital board.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it was that whole thing. That's where we were talking the last time. Where is it like Cheyenne County or Great Plains? I think it is titled like the Cheyenne County
Because Great Plains leases county facility,
Okay,
right?
right. And so I'm sorry here. She does a great job. Great Plains of Cheyenne County Incorporated is a not-for-profit entity that has been established by Great Plains to operate this hospital.
Right.
And then there is, independent of that, the Cheyenne County Hospital Board
Mhm.
that leases all of that to Great Plains of Cheyenne County. Now, all of that, any of the money, any of the accounts receivable, all of the equipment, forever and always will belong to the county.
Mhm.
And so we're using that to operate the hospital. Okay, and so you're wondering what the cash flow is.
No, I'm in regards to this project because this project is a capital improvement, basically of an existing county-owned structure. And so when it comes to how this is all supposed to work, things sometimes get a little muddy because the hospital board, from what I understand, are the ones that are working with Century 2 in regards to making this project work. Am I incorrect in saying that?
No,
Okay.
do you think?
So the hospital board and Century 2 are trying to see if this project could be a possibility. And so in regards to talking about we applying for grants and we this and we that, I think there's some blurring of lines here in regards to hospital board, Great Plains, Century 2. Because, and that's what I'm trying to clarify is so that people understand this is the part that everyone is playing in this project.
So what are we doing here now? Is we're trying to drum up support, or you're just here to inform us of what's going on? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. I mean, if you have any money, we'd sure take a donation. But yeah, all along this project has been, community support driven. This grant that we wrote, Bird City, put under their foundation name, was to finalize this project. And, if we get the money out of that grant, then it will put us where we need to be as far as the most recent estimates that we've had. Originally, it came really high, and so we've trimmed things off, got it down to where it's a manageable number, that if we can get some of this funding, then we'll be able to make the project come to fruition.
Right. And when you ask about, are we coming to you for support like that? The board has been very clear from the beginning that we're not going to be injecting county dollars
Correct.
into this project. And so probably the way, and we use we a lot, and it would be more comfortable probably if we said in conjunction with the Cheyenne County or the Bird City Century 2, they have applied for that grant.
Right. And when
Right.
you're referring to, because when you say we, I'm thinking Great Plains. But I'm getting the impression, Jeremy, when you say we.
Well, when you
saying-
put a lot of hours into a project, you want to say we. So, I mean,
I'm telling you, because there are distinctions.
I mean, we've been working on this for over 6 years, so I say we because it's a partnership. And so
Okay.
that's why I say we.
Partnership.
If you need more definitive lines, then you can look at it like the ownership of the project can lie with the foundation. So it started there, we're running it and everything. We're asking for a partnership, that input and everything as we go through.
Right.
Like we want to, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a capital, you just said it, for the hospital that they budget.
Capital.
Thank you, capital improvement, or anything, because it's coming from us. So essentially, it's like we are running that project. We are wanting to see that get to the end, finish a new building, new construction, may not be a clinic, may not, kind of deal. And then, hey, hospital board, who has Great Plains, who has been with us throughout this project, would you like to operate a clinic out of this new build? Does that make sense?
Yes,
So,
I think that explains it well, Terry.
Okay,
Thank you.
on that. The other thing is, I want to express concern, and the reason why, like, we're also here too is, it'd be the last commissioner meeting. Mr. Folkender had some comments, which I was really disappointed in, because I thought the previous commissioner meeting where we attended went really well. And I understand too, I'm, benefit of the doubt and everything, that we hit you with a lot of information. And sometimes you have to take some time to adjust that or digest that and everything, and then come back and be like, I got some questions. Great. I guess I just want to open up the door. It's probably not the last commissioner meeting that we will be in, but there's obviously questions that, need to be answered. And I know he's absent today. But if there is a way that the commissioners can get a list of questions or concerns or whatever that may be about this project, that would be extremely helpful for us. So that way we can get you that information. Again, being as transparent as one can be for this project, we want to see this happen for the Bird City community and the county of Cheyenne. Like the people, deserve better. That's why we're serving on these boards. We want to make the best decisions that we can to make sure quality of life continues to improve in this area. So with that said, I guess I just want to make sure the door's always open. I felt like he had a lot of reservations there, and I want to see if I can help him, get those questions answered. Whether that changes mindset or not, I don't care. I just want to make sure he has the access to the information, his questions get answered and everything. I want to make sure that is set clear on that. So again, I know he's absent, but that was just kind of disappointing, like coming off of that and everything, especially since he said, the hospital and was kind of questioning the success of the clinic in Bird City, which we've had joint meetings, and everything as far as boards and all that. Like we're on the same page as two full units, and everything. So that's kind of my spiel on that.
What I might add right here too is, well, if they're putting this thing together and own, Bird City Century 2, if they own that clinic and we operate our business in it, well, isn't that all well and good? Well, one of our concerns as a steward of the hospital business, we don't want to be in a situation where we've been running a clinic and then suddenly they decide they don't like the way we've run the clinic and you guys get out, we're going to invite somebody else in to run this clinic. We want to run that clinic. We fought pretty hard to get that clinic there and to be there as the sole surviving clinic in there. And so that's part A. Part B is by owning that clinic, then we can get depreciation costs back on it on our cost report. And so that does help kind of bring that up to where we don't lose so much all the time. The current building over there is fully depreciated now after almost 30 years, and so that's a whole different color. Now, as far as all that goes, as you just look at the clinic, well, can you guys get along in the clinic you got? Yes, we can. And we could invest a little bit and probably be able to handle some of those problems. But if somebody's willing to go through all of this stuff and contribute and put a clinic on the ground that we can then operate in and own, and then gain some additional financial resource from based on that, yeah, we would not be opposed to that at all. And that would be in the best interest of the hospital staying here. And then just from my perspective, that clinic is like, when you talk about what parts do you carve off first, that clinic is nowhere near the top. Nowhere near the top. It's probably among the last things to go. And so I would not anticipate ever not running that clinic. I think my words to Jeremy was over my dead body.
which to tack on to that, also to kind of finish this out was, I know one of Roger's concern was the gifting of the clinic back if it ever ceased to exist. Again, the foundation, we want a clinic in, Bird City. We don't foresee the clinic closing through the Cheyenne County Hospital. Therefore, like when we've talked about that, the verbiage of like, as long as, it is, if it ever ceases to exist as a clinic under Cheyenne County Hospital, then that property reverts back to us, so we can utilize it in our community for something else. I mean, maybe it's office space or, something like that. Because I just want to remind you again, there is no taxpayer money involved in this project. It is grants, it is private donations and everything like that. And I think, like the people that are contributing to this project, like I know it was said before, like we shouldn't have to buy it twice, like in a sense, I know he didn't like the verbiage of gifting it because then you're asking for a gift back. And there's some language there that I just didn't agree with, but that's just me, that it's like, I understand, but the gift is operating. The gift is getting to operate a clinic out of a new building, essentially. So, and that's what we want. We want a new facility. And I think that speaks volumes because the amount of money, which was like 486,000 is what we've brought in so far. That's with doing no advertising, no like serious sit down. We've had 3 town hall meetings, maybe, Jeremy, in the past 4 years about this project. That's pretty impressive, to have that amount of money come in without having a ton of information, going out about it. So I know there was reservations on that. That's just where we stand. All, the donations and everything, the stuff that's been communicated with us through that, it's just if we can retain that building, if it ever ceases to exist as a clinic under Cheyenne County.
So
Yeah.
basically what we're after is better care, right?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, giving them more space and stuff to provide better care, again, not just Bird City. It's not a Bird City St. Francis deal. This is a county-wide, like Jeremy said earlier, it can't, like the clinic over here in St. can't exist without the clinic in Bird City because of the overflow. It's a county-wide mindset for this project.
Kind of an add-on thought.
Just like comment, our initial thoughts when we started the entire project was we would build a building to house a clinic, and then we would rent it to the hospital board. The hospital board did not like that idea. The administration didn't like it. And it was because of the stability that they needed to sustain the clinic through the years. That was when we decided the best option was just build it and gift it to you.
Yeah, one thing that I was just going to mention too is this residency thing that I talked to you guys about came on way after the fact of this project. But this project is an added benefit to this residency because when we bring residents out here, they're not going to have that clinical space. And so this is going to allow us to shuffle some of our providers to more than one location. And our community has been very supportive about, if they want to see a specific provider, then they typically don't have a problem going to whichever clinic that provider is at. And if they do want to just be, or they can't, they're not mobile and can't get to another community, then, sometimes they're okay with seeing whatever provider is in that community that day. So I think all in all, we just wanted to reiterate, myself, Wes, and I think Taryn, that we're in this partnership together and that, we're working hard to make this project happen and looking at all kinds of sources, not just funding from, local donors.
Brett, did you have a question?
Oh, I was just going over my notes. I'm hoping you guys do get the Patterson Foundation grant. That would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
And that was 480,000, is that right?
Well,
Huh?
the foundation applied for 500. The mobile
unit
clinic was 485. Yeah.
I think it's neat.
But we always appreciate you guys' support and, yeah, for sure. If there's ever questions that come up to you guys in the community, like Taryn said, reach out to me or Taryn or anybody on our building committees. We want to try to answer those. So, if we need to come and make a formal presentation here, we can do that too. Thank you guys. I don't think I have anything else unless you guys have any questions or any other comments.
Anybody else have any questions? Comments? Take us
No,
through.
I just appreciate, all the work you guys do. There's obviously some miscommunication, I think, between the groups, and I hope this cleared some of it up.
I think it has. What else?
Any reservations?
I don't. I just want to, we did the same thing for the motorcycle museum. So I think it's neat. So if I have reservations, I know who to get a hold of. I'll call. So.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Questions if you ever.
Oh, no, I just know that there are people out in the community that don't.
I'm sorry, thanks for coming in.
I saw the whole town of Bird City, so I thought I better come in and see what was going on.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Maybe crowd control.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I was missing something. Yeah, well, like, it is important, but I was like, what's going on? The whole town of Bird City. You get the deer. Sure.
All right, thank you.
I didn't know you were over here for this. Okay. One wire and it laid there for a second.
Thanks, bud. How are ya?
Good,
Good.
Thanks,
Good.
gentlemen.
Yep.
Didn't even have to turn around.
Okay, thank you.
Kind of deal, they're strange. Yeah, actually something you don't.
That blew me.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking
I was
that
like
too.
going,
I saw your face.
Because I honestly, I know for a fact that it's not appreciating something. Saying,
When we own it.
yeah, I think the board is getting us out of being the point of contact. Me.
I like that.
I do. So I
found that number.
Yeah, sorry, everybody just kind of got up, but yeah, we.
You missed something.
I think we're ready for Bill.
Probably about everything. Yeah, and that's trimmed down, but.
No, we're gonna do it in open.
Oh, we are?
Mhm.
Okay.
We're gonna do it in open.
Get lost into a prize. Yeah.
That's okay.
It's pretty good. Like how.
You got
Whenever
this.
you're ready, we're ready for you, kid.
I should have thought this.
No, you're fine. I gotcha.
All right.
I'm running out of room.
Do you want another agenda and grab?
No, I'm just gonna,
Staple
I'm gonna
together.
just, I'll write shorthand if I need to.
Know if you have any questions. Did he get a hold of thanks, Karen? Sorry, but no, you're good.
Thanks.
Did that county attorney, did he get a hold of you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys. I guess the one thing that I'm here to discuss is that there have been some conversations in Rollins County about potentially the Cheyenne County EMS, maybe specifically the Bird City side of things to cover McDonald. They have discussed it numerous times at meetings, and they have had quite a few different forums and town halls to discuss some of these things. And it was brought up at their commissioner meeting on Monday or Tuesday, that maybe that would be a course of action for Rollins County to do. So in case you're unaware, 2 employees, well, actually there were 3 technicians with the Rollins County EMS who were let go. And 2 of them reside in McDonald. And so it has left them really short on help. And I think it is a huge concern for the McDonald community. I had met with Leslie at the beginning of the week because I was actually very upset. I kind of have some strong feelings about how this has went, and mostly because I think my working relationship with the EMS director in Rollins County is non-existent.
I think, Jill, you need to clarify that all of these discussions were being had without Cheyenne County
Yes.
being consulted.
Yeah.
Given a heads up.
Yeah.
This just came out in one of the town halls that, oh, well, hey, Cheyenne County can come over and take care of McDonald.
Absolutely. And I
Like I told you yesterday, I did talk with one of the commissioners over there yesterday about it, but I told him I'd have to talk with you about it before,
Yeah.
or bring it to you.
Yeah, I just, we've just had a lot of things that have recently happened with that relationship between Rollins County. The EMS director did try to pull the Rollins County EMS channel from every radio in Cheyenne County, including our dispatch, which our dispatch, they work together. I mean, when our tower goes down here, they have to page us out through Rollins County for us in Bird City to be able to respond and to hear. And so there have just been a lot of things that have happened. The McDonald community being within the Cheyenne school district, those people are also my people. I went to school with those people. I went to school with their kids. We have EMTs that have family members over there. And
There's
so
a lot of emotion that's
there
involved in
is.
this situation, but what it boils down to is that this was suggested at the commissioners meeting on Tuesday. And so the Rollins County attorney reached out to me in regards to this is what was brought up as an option. And in my legal opinion, this is a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Because you would have to come up with the area, you would have to come up with the compensation, you would have to come up with additional EMTs, you would have to come up with additional units, you would have to come up with additional
And how long is
inventory.
it going to go on?
And just the mere fact that there could be a misappropriation of Cheyenne County taxpayer dollars,
Yeah. I just,
it's,
I agree.
Did Rollins County get the idea because we have them cover our northeast corner?
no, it actually came from the state.
Yeah, the State Board of EMS, and they brought that up, that they thought that it would be a good solution. Not even consulting with me if I felt like that would be a viable thing that we could do. And so, I think the cart's kind of in front of the horse, maybe. But at the same time, as much as I would like to help that situation, I think that would be an intense strain. And I just feel like short term, maybe. But I don't know if there's an end to that. And I have some hesitations of being involved with any of it because of some of the prior dealings. I do have some concerns with that.
And so that's why Jill came here today after visiting with me and me having contact with the Rollins County attorney. They're wanting an answer if Cheyenne County is interested in this option.
When? Today?
Pretty much.
But yet they didn't contact us before they made their decision.
Exactly.
So they can wait on a response. But what I don't want somebody dying because they're waiting for an ambulance for Rollins County and not good over there. I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking. I
agree, but
don't.
I also feel like that kind of falls on to their commissioners to rectify whatever issue that is they're having over there. And I don't know if it's okay to just pass the buck to somebody else to let them. Yeah. And so
that's disrespectful.
I mean, it's an unfortunate circumstance that is going on over there, but it's not Cheyenne County's responsibility to fix the problem. Simply said.
Yes.
in my opinion.
I know,
I can agree with you on that, but on the other hand, it just almost seemed like it's a neighborly thing to do to keep somebody alive, you know? And I know that they'd probably have to pay for everything, but I don't know if, like I told him, I didn't think I didn't know if you had the resources to do it.
Yeah, I don't even know what something like that would look like. I really don't. They do have different services in the state that because of the school line, you know, they do work together on some of those things, but
But you couldn't just jump in there and start anyway until something was written out on paper, right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
but there's two AMTs that Rawlins County let go to live in McDonald.
They live in McDonald, yes. And I've actually, one of them approached me wanting to get on to our service. She's an AEMT. I took my AEMT class with her. And so, yeah, she asked if she could run on our service over in Bird City and in St. Francis if she was around or we needed help.
So counties have to provide EMT services, right?
Yes.
I'll tell those two EMTs, get in an ambulance and bill Rawlins County, bring them over here. I mean, that's what they're doing to us, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, Cheyenne County has been through a process whereby the system had to be revamped. And Ryan and Jill worked very hard to get the service where it is today for Cheyenne County, because that is Cheyenne County's responsibility. And I think what Jill is saying is, Rollins, if you have a problem, you need to fix it.
Yes.
Sorry, that puts you in a bad position.
Well, we've already been drug into it inadvertently with all sorts of different things. Like I have one of our EMTs that have been harassed by somebody in Rollins County. I mean, like some of the things just keep piling up. And I just think if this is the way it is already, I would hate to find out what it would be if we were trying to work together. So.
You know, to say other than if something happens, get them to our county line. And
Yeah, the thing is, 3 of our EMTs have offered to help over in McDonald, and they were turned down. And so, yeah, I just don't know how we went from that to all of a sudden they would like us to run the town over there.
And this has been going on for what? Month?
I mean, the issues with the Rollins County EMS has been going on for quite some time. The Cheyenne County option just recently came up. But I'm supposed to get a hold of the county attorney today.
What's their county attorney say? I mean, they think this is doable?
It came down from the state. And this is one of those things that it was an option, but it is not Cheyenne County's obligation or responsibility to fix this problem that Rollins County has. It was just thrown out as an option.
I feel the same way. I would hate for people to be uncovered and not have the care that they need.
Golden hour, I mean.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't know if it is our responsibility to try to fix it.
When I was in the first 13 through 17, we were looking at possibly having to hire EMTs from other counties because we were so short. And nobody came to help us on that. And we had to figure it out. I'm sorry, but if something happens to somebody, get them to the county line and we'll pick them up. But
yeah,
I think it's a train wreck all the way around. Their problem isn't our problem, but yet I would do anything to save somebody. So I get them to the county line. I'm sorry. That's what I say. Maybe that's not legal either.
I started the county line, so that'd be fine. Yeah. Yeah. When I approached Leslie, she had not, the county attorney over in Rollins County had not reached out to her yet. And so, yeah, I just expressed kind of the same thing that I have today.
Cody, what are your thoughts on something like that?
What do you think about EMS? I don't know how it works. I don't know how the rules work.
What are your
so-
thoughts? So you deal with Rollins County quite a bit.
I don't. Wasn't prepared to answer the questions.
You think about it, Ryan. What do you think?
It's one of those things. I think I feel very similar to you. Brett.
Okay.
We don't want to leave anybody. We want to help people, but you know, Jill's the director of EMS. She knows the situation. I don't know the situation.
Well, there's
I guess is what I'm trying to
two
say.
EMTs there that can get them stabilized and get to the county line. I'm sorry. I don't know. They probably don't have insurance to do that if they're not with Rollins County.
There's a lot of
No.
complexity with the board of the.
No, that's not the way it works.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of complexities with board of EMS and rules and stuff that I have no idea what are, and that's why I'm very hesitant to give any opinion because
Well,
I don't know what those rules are to be able
I
to say.
respect that, Ryan. Okay.
Well, I have to be careful here because I do cover it all.
I know you do.
So I think I would agree that, look, I think it's a logistical nightmare to come up with some type of agreement for routine calls. However, I want to remind everyone, on an emergency life or death basis, there's still mutual aid that can be called. Like we do with Sherman County, Rollins County, Thomas County, all of them, to where if there's a situation where somebody needs help now, they can't get there, they can request Cheyenne County to come over on a mutual aid basis. That's different than what this is. I just want to put that out there too, because I agree with what you and Jill are saying, of you would hate for something bad to happen.
So
There's still mutual aid in place.
So like in the case of a disaster over there, something, they had multiple people, we could go in and help them.
Yes, that's.
They'd have to request it.
They have to request it.
So if
This
they
is a
request,
day-to-day, 24/7.
Well, yeah. but if it's life over limb, let's get, I don't.
I'll repeat what they said when you asked about working with Rollins County. Those mutual aid agreements are still there. If they had a multiple car accident in Rollins County right now between Beardsley and McDonald, we would be paged to go help, irregardless of this agreement. Does that make sense?
It does.
And I say us, I mean, all of us, fire, same as if we had an accident on the other side of the dairy, there was a multiple car accident, Rollins County would be paged to come help us. Those agreements are still in place. This doesn't change any of that.
They have to ask us.
You have to ask.
Okay.
So.
There it is.
Like,
You okay with
correcting
that?
line.
What I ask it?
We can respond to any mutual aid request. If
They request.
Yeah,
Jill.
they request
Resources.
If they request that,
Right. But there are two things going on here. You've got the mutual aid that's already in place. What they are asking of Cheyenne County is that you take over the 24/7 service.
Yeah, I know.
That's the $1 million question right now. Are you in support of that or not?
I'm not in support of somebody putting words in our mouth. So I say if it's life over limb, have us call us for mutual aid. What do you think, Willie? I don't want anybody.
That'd be my opinion too, that if it's emergency and they call to help, ask for help, I think we basically really have to help them. But
Want to help 'em.
not become their
Yeah.
ambulance service,
yeah, that,
especially overnight.
Yeah.
We had to deal with it back in, was that 16, Cody, when it was so bad? We were, yeah, okay, in 16.
I think it was in 16.
Yeah.
I don't 100% quote, but I think.
Yeah, well, anyway, are you okay with that?
oh, absolutely.
That's our advice.
Then on the other hand, say if you did go to emergency, you have to take them clear to.
So I
Atwood,
think,
or could you bring them here?
well, okay, so we are required to transport a patient to the closest appropriate facility.
Okay.
But if that patient chooses to go to a different facility, so if we pick somebody up in McDonald and they would like to go to Cheyenne County, that would be ideal for us because that doesn't necessarily take us out of service and it doesn't take us out of the county for very long. But if they would choose to go to the Rollins County Hospital, then we would be out of service for a little bit longer than that.
Unconscious patient.
Yeah. But if I only have, let's say, 3 people on call that day and 2 of them take off in the ambulance to head to the hospital in Rollins County, then I feel like I'm putting myself in a position that if something would happen,
You refuse to take them out of that way, or do you have to take them where they want to go?
Maybe that could be part of this little agreement.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're still talking about agreement?
No, there's so many complexities to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if it was my kid or me, I just think that's an awful big ask without talking to us,
Yeah.
but I don't want somebody going without care.
Well, like my son, when he's home from college, he works over at Wheat Haven at the nursing home over there.
Right.
You know, and I know that, you know, even having that nursing home over there is a reason to have staffing to be able to provide not just for their community, but they actually have a facility there that, you know, oftentimes requires the ambulance.
So
So
Was the answer no?
I would think it'd have to be no until we figure out something legally that we could do it.
No, no. This is
it's either a yes or a no,
yes or a no.
but
I
the
mean-
mutual aid, then we could, for mutual aid, if they call on us.
Mutual aid exists.
Yeah, so
That's, I mean, if they need help, Cheyenne County's
be
gonna
there.
respond, no ands, ifs, or buts. This is in regards to running, and I keep saying it, a 24/7 ambulance service for another county.
And was it specific if it was just the town of McDonald or if it was the district part of McDonald?
I don't think that was ever.
That was never determined. I don't remember it being specific.
Yeah. Because I had heard both, and you know, that kind of opens things up a little bit.
we've moved our property line a little bit, what, 4 miles further east? There we go. They'll get the state involved.
They haven't even asked us.
Yeah, I'm getting older by the way.
I know.
The only person that had spoke to me even briefly about it was Lincoln Pokup. And, you know, I just told him, I don't know any of the inner workings of how something like that would ever even work. He did try to call me the other day and I did not return his phone call. And that was after their commissioner meeting.
Is he a commissioner? I can-
With that being up, they haven't even asked, we just say no. I mean, we don't even have to say no. They haven't even asked.
I've already said what I'm gonna say. I don't, you can't put words in another county commissioner's mouth. I mean, I know Roger would follow all of that. I'm sorry. You don't do that and dump it on us out of the blue. I don't want anybody, mutual aid, go for it.
yes.
I would strongly say bring him to Cheyenne County if that's the case. Otherwise it puts us out.
Yeah.
But I think Leslie's right. 24/7. I'm sorry. I don't think it's, I mean, I don't.
I just don't think it's feasible. I just don't. And really, you know, I've got one EMT right now that is out. She just had hip surgery. I have another full-time EMT that in a few months when that other EMT comes back, she's going to be out for surgery. I also have 10 students right now. You know, and those people will need supervision for some time, you know, before they're really like out on their own. So I just, as much as I would like to be able to help the community of McDonald, I just feel like it would in turn probably put an intense stress on the people that I have right now. And maybe, of course, our resources too. But I'm the same way as you. When people need help, I want to help. But at the same time, I don't like how they've went about this whole thing, like just dumping the problem to be our problem.
Why would they let their 2 EMTs go that live in McDonald? Sounds like an internal problem that, and it just, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Leslie, you good?
Have an answer of no to the county attorney.
Thank you. That's all I have.
We can one night with that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
You need to talk to me or are you on the agenda?
I'm not on the agenda.
Maybe he wants to be.
honestly don't have anything, or I'd sneak in and just, everything's going good. You guys got any questions for me?
No. No.
Matt's still stuck in sandbox, so, you know.
At
That's
least
about
he's
the only-
okay.
What's that?
At least he's okay.
Okay, I will have some stuff, hopefully, the next meeting that will be
Sounds good. Have a good weekend, bud.
All right. And I'll give you a call.
Okay, sounds good.
The other stuff.
Okay.
Hey, wait,
see ya.
Andy, I need to speak with you if you can hang around. for a
I
few
make a
minutes.
motion that we adjourn.
Hold on, I got the 10 minutes for advice of council.
Motion for 10 minutes of executive session for advice of council.
I'll second that. 10 minutes, it's been moved and seconded for 10 minutes of executive session for advice of council. All in favor signify by saying